My name is Dr. Bernice Murphy and I am the School's Director of Postgraduate Teaching and Learning. So today I'm going to provide you with a very quick overview of our postgraduate offerings, both taught and research student orientated. So the first thing to know about our school is that it has a large and very active postgraduate community. We currently have about 40 PhD and MLit students, and we have around 60 taught postgraduate students. So we will be offering 4 taught postgraduate MPhil programs during the 2021 academic year. We're also extremely proud of our very high international reputation for research and scholarship. This has been accrued by our staff and by our graduates and our graduate students over the course of many years and many decades. Many of our graduates have gone on to distinguished academic careers in institutions across the world. We're also exceptionally lucky here in the School of English and Trinity to have the use of our absolutely wonderful copyright library, which is truly world-class holdings. Other thing to know about Trinity is that it lies right in the heart of Dublin, Ireland's capital city, of course. And so we have this incredibly vast array of cultural events, artistic resources right on our doorsteps. I just wanted to mention too, for those of you who haven't had the opportunity to visit Dublin before, we have a truly spectacular campus. It's a famously beautiful place, mainly done in very striking 18th century architecture. And it's a really special place to walk into. You actually feel like you've really gone to a little oasis of culture and learning and diligence and sort of intellectual excitement when you walk through that famous front arch at Trinity. Now, if you're interested in pursuing one of the school's taught MPhil programs, your main point of contact should be either our taught MPhil director, my colleague Dr. Tom Walker, or even more ideally, in the first instance, the director of the individual taught MPhil program which you are most interested in. And all of these details again can be found in the postgraduate section of the School of English website. I would also strongly encourage you to watch the individual taught MPhil program videos, which are on this website, for more detailed information on these courses, because they will go into a bit more detail than I will have time to do right now. So we have these 4 world-class taught postgraduate programs, and I'll provide you with a very brief overview so that you have a sense of what these offerings are. I should say too that all of them are staffed by colleagues who are acknowledged and very often internationally recognised experts in their own respective fields. Now, first of all, we have our world-renowned MPhil in Irish writing. This is our longest established MPhil programme, and this allows students to engage with a wide range of Irish writing in English. Trinity, as you perhaps might expect from such an august and long-standing institution, has an extraordinary literary legacy. I mean, even to begin to name some of the world-famous writers who've attended Trinity themselves is quite remarkable. People like Oscar Wilde, Bram Stoker, for instance, just to give you 2 of the most famous names that come to mind. And Trinity has long led the way in teaching Irish writing. Then there's our another excellent course that we offer, another quite famous course that we offer, which is our MPhil in Creative Writing. Now, all of the faculty, my colleagues who teach in this course, are practicing writers themselves. They're all well-known names themselves, and many distinguished and emerging writers have graduated from this program. A more recent addition to our stable of MPhil programs is our MPhil in Children's Literature, another world-leading program which has attracted students really from everywhere you can possibly think of. The subject encompasses everything from picture books to young adult fiction, and it pays particular attention to the role and the contribution that Irish writers have made to the development of children's literature in English. The course also has a strong archival element, which is something you don't get everywhere, thanks to the wonderful Pollard collection of children's books, which is actually housed on campus in our famous library. And finally, last but not least, we're absolutely delighted to be launching a brand new MPhil programme starting in September 2021. It's been several years in the planning. We're extremely excited about it. This is our MPhil in Modern and Contemporary Literary Studies, which explores over 200 years of Anglophone literary and critical history and has a vast array of options that students will be able to undertake I'll actually be contributing somewhat to this course myself, so it's another reason why I'm particularly delighted that it's kicking off in September. Our MPhils are all 1 year full-time study or 2 years, with the exception of creative writing, I should say. A 2-year part-time version of each programme is also now available starting again in 2021. Now, in addition to our, really diverse and exciting array of taught postgraduate programmes, the school welcomes applications for several research degrees. These are particularly the MLit and the PhD. Most of our students would be undertaking a PhD programme if they're research students, but we do certainly have MLit students, and we're always very happy to discuss the prospect of doing an MLit with prospective applicants. Now, both the MLit and the PhD involve a student working closely with one or more supervisors to undertake an original research student, which results in a dissertation thesis. So the MLit normally takes 2 years, and the dissertation there would be up to around 60,000 words. The PhD takes up to 4 years, and the dissertation would be generally in and around 100,000 words. As well as the more conventional research dissertation, we also offer a relatively new offering, although it's been around for a couple of years now, which is our PhD in literary practice, which we've had a lot of excitement about. This comprises of an original piece of creative writing and a critical essay. And you would be interacting with colleagues both from the Oscar Wilde Centre for Creative Writing and from colleagues who would be literary critics in working on that project. We also have a brand new distance PhD programme which will enable students to pursue a research degree remotely. And again, we're very excited about this new offering. One thing I would stress, and that it's important to bear this in mind, is that there are some important visa considerations to bear in mind if you're a non-EU student who is thinking of applying for this course. So I would again encourage people to consult our website. You will find more detailed information about each of these programmes on the website, and I am, of course, I'm happy to answer any queries that you may have that you don't find answered there. Now, the diversity of our faculty's research interests means that we're very well placed to supervise research in a very wide variety of areas. These include Irish writing, of course, popular literature, my own particular subject area, 18th century literature, Anglo-Saxon and Old English. We're great believers in the importance of these forms of literature. Medieval studies, Victorian literature, Shakespearean studies, Romantic literature, modernism, American literature, and of course poetry and drama. The print and archival holdings of our, truly remarkable library underpins many of our research students' projects. So we do have quite a few students at present who are working on archival projects and are interacting in a very practical sense, hands-on sense with our library's holdings. Whilst you're here, you would receive access to training and skills, training that will develop your skills and knowledge as a researcher. You'd also join a supportive and dynamic community of students, scholars and writers in a world-leading English school right at the heart of one of the world's undisputedly great literary cities. The School of English provides doctoral training through a structured programme of research and study, and again you will find more information about this on the postgraduate section of our website. Alongside pursuing their original PhD projects, PhD students usually in the first year to 18 months of their studies participate in other modules, often MPhil modules, seminars and workshops. These will broaden your knowledge base, your skill set in ways that are complementary to your research and your future career plans. And they also support your wider professional development. So we have a series of seminars for our students in the earlier stages of their studies, which will enable them to aid your entry into both the academic and the non-academic job markets. Now, one thing I'd say to you is if you are thinking of making an application for the PhD or any of our PhD programs or our MLit program, I would strongly encourage you to consult the list of staff research interests, which you will again find on our website, and to contact with your initial inquiry a member of staff within the faculty whose interests would seem most relevant to your proposed area of research. If you're not sure who might be the right person to make that inquiry to, please feel free to contact me and I will be happy to direct you to a colleague. One thing I'd say is that we would ask prospective applicants not to contact more than one member of staff at the same time with their initial inquiry, because this can cause a little bit of confusion. So it's better, if you're not sure who to contact, please feel free to contact me and I'd be happy to assist you in any way that I can. And it is advisable to develop your proposal in consultation with relevant staff members. So we would strongly encourage people to make contact with us to discuss your ideas. We can find out if we're a suitable home for you before you actually make your formal application online. Now, what I'd say just in closing is that whether you're interested in pursuing taught postgraduate or postgraduate research studies here in the school, my colleagues and I are very happy to hear from you and to assist you in any way that we can. And again, I just reiterate that you can find more detailed information on all of our postgraduate offerings on our school website. So you'll see my email address there. If you need to, feel free to contact me if you have any further inquiries, and I will of course be happy to assist you in any way that I can. Thank you so much for your attention, and I hope that this has been useful.